So here at Lochmore, the real reason that I've travelled is for this mausoleum, and it's here in memory of the Cormac brothers, and we are actually in luck today. In May 1858, brothers Daniel and William Cormac from Lochmore were executed for the murder of local land agent John Ellis. Despite their pleas of innocence, the unreliability of the main witness, and a huge public outcry over their convictions, the brothers were not spared. The brothers were hanged at 11:30 on a lovely sunny May morning. They heard Mass, been confirmed and received the last sacraments, and they were both prepared and willing to die when eventually they climbed the scaffold which had been built for them outside the jail gate. Each of them was accompanied onto the scaffold by a priest, and each kept on repeating the familiar aspiration: Jesus, Mary and Joseph, I've give you my heart and my soul. The gallows was surrounded on three sides by a strong cordon of police, but only a small, morbid-minded handful of civilians was present, because the clergy had requested the general public to remain away from the public execution. The shops were closed in the town, and their windows were shuttered in protest and sympathy. Each brother then kissed the crucifix. Each held each other close on a prolonged embrace and bade him goodbye. Each continued to pray aloud as his face was covered and the noose was put in place around his neck. A few moments later, the bolt shot quickly back, and the souls of the brothers Cormac were with God. On Thursday the 22nd, 1857, a man by the name of John Ellis was accompanied by an employee named Tommy Burke. They rode horse and cart, and at about 11 p.m. there was a shot that rang out. Ellis fell dead. Ellis was a local agent for a landlord called John Tratt, living just a few hundred yards from the Cormacs. Ellis's character was unsavoury, and it was generally believed that one of the victims of a seduction was a sister of the Cormacs. The murder caused huge sensation. Ellis, a Protestant Scotsman, and the Cormacs plain Catholic peasantry working for Ellis. Several arrests were made for the murder. The Cormacs, an informer Timothy Spillane, and Tommy Burke, the driver of the horse and car, who became the chief Crown witness. The resident magistrate in Thurles, John Gore Jones, regarded the Cormacs as the prime suspects. In fact, the only suspects, because of the story of the shame of their sister. All his efforts were directed to drumming up evidence against him, and not to discover the truth. Attorney General Whiteside spoke for the prosecution, followed by Judge Keogh's summing up. From the onset, it was obviously prejudiced and biased against the accused. He spoke in an impassioned and aggressive tone of voice, more becoming a prosecutor than an impartial judge. After he finished, the packed jury had little difficulty in returning a verdict of guilty. Public opinion, however, was unequivocally pronounced against the verdict. Immediately, memorials and petitions for reprieve were set in motion and were signed by a vast number of clergy and people, Protestant as well as Catholic. The bodies of the brothers were buried in the grounds of the jail in Nina, and their remains rested there until Monday evening, May the 9th, 1910, when they were exhumed for translation to Lochmore churchyard. Huge crowds turned out for the arrival of the remains of the Cormac brothers. Father Hackett said, the innocence of the Cormac brothers of murder of Ellis is certain from the testimony of the man who perpetrated the deed. The Cormac brothers were in 2 oak coffins and placed in front of the church in Lochmore. At the time of their execution, Daniel was only 18 and William was only 23. At the time of our visit, I can only presume that the mausoleum and both coffins are being repaired. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Take care. God bless.